Okay, hello and welcome back to some more F1 2021 My Team. You joined me after a very chaotic Chinese Grand Prix. So, hopefully, we can have a nice calm race this time. We get a good qualifying, we get a good finish. No drama, no nothing. That is the hope. But it's Imola. And Imola is... Well, Imola is Imola. We'll put it that way. There's a lot of chance for things to go wrong. A lot of corners where crashes can happen, and a lot of crashes that would happen on no other track. So, yeah. Should be interesting. Going into qualifying, I don't have too many hopes for qualifying. I'm normally pretty bang average between, like, P10 and P15 on a good day. I mean, the lap itself has been shocking. We're currently nearly 1 second up on our previous time, but that would only put us half a second up on Latifi, which would probably put us around about P15. So, we'll have a look, and we go P15. You know what? At least I'm consistent.
Hello there and welcome back to Imola, home circuit of the Scuderia Ferrari. We expect to see a lot of local supporters in red today. They've all turned out for what we have every expectation of being a sensational event here at the Emilia-Romagna Grand Prix. Unlike most Formula One circuits, Imola is driven anti-clockwise and offers our drivers today just over 3 miles of glistening wet asphalt to negotiate. It's made up of a roughly equal split of 9 right-hand turns and 10 left-hand. Watch the drivers on the way into turn 16. Managing their speed there will be crucial, with the rain only adding to the difficulty of that downhill braking section, which then of course leads into the track's longest straight, though no DRS there today of course. And as always, a man with plenty of racing experience joins me in the commentary box. Today it's Anthony Davidson. Tell me, Ant, you're no stranger to surviving the melee of turn 1. So how do you keep out of trouble when there's so much going on around you?
Well, the throttle goes both ways, Crofty. You've got to have the discipline not to try and win the race on the first lap. So always be prepared to lift early and give those around you more space. Trying to be the last of the late breakers with half a dozen cars around you may pay off from time to time, but it's also a great way to lose your front wing.
Let's run you through the driver grid order for today's exciting race. Young superstar Max Verstappen starts from pole position, and Yuki Tsunoda completes the front row. Looking down the rest of the grid we have Sainz, Gasly, Sergio Perez, and Norris, Leclerc, Stroll, Hamilton, and Marcus Armstrong, Russell, Giovinazzi, Nobuharu Matsushita, and Joe, Reed, Raikkonen, Daniel Ticktum, and Esteban Ocon, Latifi, Schwartzman, Mazepin, and Jack Aitken. It's almost time for the lights to go out, so let's head down to the track and get this Grand Prix underway.
This is our engine supplier's home Grand Prix. Let's give them a race worth watching.
Well, it's starting off in the rain, on intermediate conditions, so that has thrown a huge spanner in the works. What it does mean, though, is it means we can really underfuel the car, if we so choose, just because of the amount of lift and coast you do, and how early you lift on the corners. Yes, yeah, how early you lift on the corners to not die. So everything, you know, is looking up. We have a chance to get a couple of positions into the opening stages of the race, possible safety cars, possible incidents, and I've looked at the forecast. It will get dry by the end of the race, so we'll see what's going to happen there. Okay then, here we are on the grid in the rainy conditions of Imola to the 5 red lights. We are underway for the Emilia-Romagna Grand Prix as Zhou, to our right in the Alfa Romeo, gets a pretty poor start. So does Matsushita actually. Quite a lot of people got some poor starts. That's given us a chance to move up into around about P11, just behind Marcus Armstrong, going down the inside of turn 1 to not hit anyone. As we do hit someone, George Russell comes in to our right and hits onto us.
Like a virtual safety car is being deployed.
The safety car's out. It says VSC, but it won't be VSC. 3 people are out as well. Oh, we nearly hit Armstrong. Flipping heck. Well, I don't really know what happened there. I had to look at the replay, like a rewind replay. He just kind of came at me. There was nothing really either of us could have done, so we'll leave it at a racing incident as we get ready to go racing now. Behind the Red Bull of Marcus Armstrong
Green flag.
for his third race in Formula 1.
Seconds.
He has to fight for his position in F1 here. And it's not looking too great. P10 in the Red Bull is like Hamilton being P9 in the Mercedes. Oh, look at that. Hamilton's in P9 in the Mercedes. I'm joking, guys. Anyways, coming through turn 7 now. There's quite a good chance to overtake through down the inside here. We've done it very nicely. Not leaving too much room, but leaving enough.
Good.
Alongside Hamilton, down to turn 14 now then. Perez is off the track and has caused a stoppage. Lewis Hamilton has just overtaken under yellow flags. Safety car's out. There's nothing we can do. But Lewis Hamilton, the cheeky bugger,
They're retiring from the race.
has
Okay,
just...
slow down. Your delta is
Jesus.
negative, which means you
Well,
are too fast.
There's now
Reduce your
14
pace.
runners. So many people are out, including Perez, which really sucks for us.
Conditions look stable at the moment. No rain currently expected. Not
Okay.
sure whether dries or inters are faster. We're right on the crossover.
Right, that gives me the idea that after safety car will come in. And I'm not going to be surprised if a lot of other people come in as well.
Right, come in at the
We're
end
going
of
to
this
box this lap as safety car comes in, and so
A
does
new
so many
strategy is
people.
available on the MFD.
And now we're going to get revenge for overtaking under a yellow. Goodbye, Lewis. Can't even get a position illegally. Good job. I mean, it wasn't really an illegal overtake as such, but it kind of was. But we're pitting onto softs, and we have a good advantage here, because of the fact that Perez is out, it's not great for the team, but it means that we're not going to be double stopping. We'll be one of the only teams
Go.
that don't
You'll be
have to
racing on
double
the
stop.
exit. Go.
And it's going to put us out in P3, theoretically P2, because Kimi Räikkönen with a 5-second time penalty hasn't pitted in yet. He's still on the inters as well. So although it might
Pit
take us
strategy
a couple of
complete.
laps
See these tyres through to
to
the end
wear
now.
the tyres down enough that they're not going to be shiny and slick and slidey, all of that good jazz. But at that time, Hiller had to serve a penalty and he'll be gone. Stroll in the Alfa Romeo. No, sorry, Alpha Tauri behind us. I don't know what he's trying to do. As we come through to Aqua Minerale then. Purple Sector 1 on the Red Bull tyres. Softs are the way it seems. I'm assuming everyone else is going to just hold out on the softs and hope it lasts. Hang on. The collisions haven't been cleared.
Some
And Leclerc is
information on
out.
Leclerc. They've got a serious car
He's
issue.
out at Admirale.
Looks like they're
There's a
retiring.
yellow flag at
There's
turn
been
14 and
incident on
15.
track, but officials aren't looking to push for a
Pierre
safety car
Gasly
right
is
now.
out.
Just be careful.
Nikita Mazepin is out. Robert Schwartzman as well. Max Verstappen. Lando Norris. That's 6 people left. There's 6 people left. I don't know what's going on, but that is bad. I had a look at the replay, sort of like a rewind replay. Everyone just piled up. That was just a huge pile up. We're going to set a fastest lap of the race just after Sainz does on lap 9. But there's only 6 runners as Lewis Hamilton comes out of the pits to be lapped. I'm assuming he had wing damage or something. That's really not good for him. And it's also not good for us because it looks like he's going to try and contest and unlap himself. A really, really stupid idea. Like, really stupid. But yeah, there's only 6 runners. I don't even know what happened. I think someone must have like got caught up in a debris, spun or puncture or something. And then everyone just hit into them. I wish I had a replay of that. But my game crashed in the first couple of laps. So I lost all footage. It just didn't work. And I'm really annoyed because that'd be something really interesting to see. Anyways, DRS got enabled at the end of last lap. Going through the debris once more. This is going to play a huge part in the race. Because I would not count out a puncture or something happening for one of the drivers. Possibly us. I mean, you'll know because it will definitely be in the title if it does happen to us. But anyways, we're going to have DRS on Carlos Sainz and should just breeze past the Ferrari now.
Manage your tyres.
There we go, round the left, towards turn 1, through to turn 2, as we brake early, just allow it to happen. Going over the curves a little bit, but we're still on track, so suck your mum. Yeah, lap 11. and we're P1 out of 6. And on lap 12 we set a fastest lap.
Good job. That was the fastest lap of the race so far.
As the track dries up even more. Still though, only 6 runners. I don't know what happened, and I wish I did. Well then, coming back up to turn 14 and 15, nothing too much has happened. And I don't really think much more is going to happen. Sainz is far enough behind that he shouldn't catch up into DRS range. So you know what? We'll go for a lap around Imola. At the end of this lap, we'll go for a whole lap around. I'll commentate it all best I can and see what will happen. Will we set a fast lap? But anyways, as we go across the start-finish line in towards turn 1, that slight right-hander is technically a corner, even though it's really not. As we brake for turn 2 on the right-hand side of the track, pulling left to pull back right. As we go through 3 and into 4 now, going left towards the 5 and 6 chicane. Braking and shifting down once for 5 and 2 more times for 6. As we come now down towards turn 7, braking down second gear as we go around the long left-hander, pulling to the right-hand side of the track before moving to the left to prepare ourselves for turn 9. Turn 8 was somewhere along that straight as we brake early for turn 9, heading down now towards Aqua Minerale, not braking. And as we go through turn 11, we've gone slightly off track and had to pull across onto the opportunity, whatever the hell that says, runoff. But going through now into where the debris is, we are through and alive. We are now going to start our final lap. I don't know what really happened. I think something happened at the chicane. But Sainz has dropped
lap of the race.
so far back. He's now 8 seconds behind. There was no yellow flag, no nothing. I was keeping an eye on the map, and he just dropped back, as well as Stroll and Masashita. So I don't really know what happened there. It's gone down to about a 5-second lead. 5-second gap now. 6 seconds as we go through the chicane for the final time, trying to avoid the debris. See what happens. Oh, we got a puncture. Okay. We've trained for this. Okay. Luckily it's on our left, so I think we can make it through these 2 left-handers without going off the track. Just turning in nice and early. He's gained a whole 3 seconds since the incident, but it's still fine as the checker flag is waved across the line with a puncture to our front left tyre. I told you that debris was going to cause an issue.
We did it, good job.
And it bloody did. As we're going to get a quick flyby by the other couple of drivers as they zoom past us on their non-broken tyres, almost hitting into each other. Oh God.
Here we are then, a real team effort to overcome their rivals for a memorable win here today. Talk to me, Ant. What was it that set them apart from the competition today?
It was a question of right place, right time today. We were looking at an entirely different race before the safety car came out, but they were able to take full advantage after the field had been bunched up.
Well, I'm thoroughly exhausted after the excitement of that race, but I'm sure it's nothing compared to our drivers here. They've worked hard to make it up there, and it's great to see them make their way out onto the podium.
Now, before I say anything, Lance Stroll on the podium, gaining a decent amount of points for AlphaTauri. Nikita Mazepin as well, the last person to DNF, gets his highest finish in a long time in P7, even though he didn't actually finish. But I need to address that issue because I don't know what happened to the 14-15 chicane, and I looked at the replay and it just didn't show anything. Well, there was no replay, but I looked at like the rewind replay to see what happened, and nothing was apparent. But what it looked like was just whoever was at the front either got damaged or just hit the curb funny or whatever, lost control, and then everyone just piled into all the AI just piled into the back of them. But yeah, that's crazy. It went from like 14 runners to 6. I mean that's the most runners ever taken out of a race that I have ever seen. 6 people left. 16 people DNF'd. 16. But enough said. Thank you for watching this episode. It's been an interesting one, and I hope to see you next time for the Spanish Grand Prix.